Hello YouTube, this is William. Welcome to another Whittle Talk. Haven't done a Whittle Talk in a while. Haven't done a video in a while really. But anyway, I thought I'd do one right quick. I was having a texting conversation with Nathan Mayfield. He's doing a review of one of the master Woodsmans. He was talking about the handle and how he was trying to get used to the handle. So I thought maybe, and there were some things that I had mentioned in there that I don't think I've ever mentioned on video, especially with that knife, as to why I did the handle the way I did. So I thought maybe that I would kind of talk about handles, knife handles, and my thoughts on them, and how a handle plays a huge role in the knife performance and what you can get out of the knife, and explain why I make the handles that I do the way I do, and it's primarily because of the way that I use a knife. So first of all, let me show you a standard, what is typical a Coke bottle handle, and many people like this handle. It's very comfortable. It has some contours on it. It's a good handle. There's nothing wrong with it. But for me, it doesn't feel right in my hand. Okay, I thought I could improve on it. Okay, the audacity of improvement. But anyway, so my handles, as you'll see on the majority of my knives, has the swell here. Okay, and a lot of people are saying that it's uncomfortable for the hand because they feel like they don't have a tight enough grip on the, I won't say a lot, there's been about 2 or 3. So they don't have enough grip here, and it cramps their hand because they find themselves squeezing the handle because this part is narrow here. Which I can understand that. Now, I did this for a couple of reasons. One is control. I want to be able to feel the handle and know when my hand is getting close to the business end of the knife. Okay, so that bubble is there. It also helps you from your hand from sliding up on the knife, so it's a safety issue. But more importantly, the way I use a knife is I am all over the knife when I'm gripping a knife. You'll find me, I'll be up here wheeling on a stick, and I'll have the knife way up here and holding onto the blade so that I can choke up on the blade, because remember, the closer your hand is to where you're cutting, the safer that knife is. And I'm talking about the hand that's gripping the blade or guiding the blade. Okay, so I like that contour there so that my fingers wrap around that blade and I have complete control of that knife. It is not going to slip anywhere. And these fingers can do whatever. These fingers here can hold the blade, or it can just not even hold the blade, just be loose. Okay, which is uncomfortable. It's kind of awkward, but can be done. So that's another reason why that bubble is there. It also helps in your sheath retention. It secures the knife in the sheath a lot better, either leather or Kydex, either one. And once I find that I got used to it, then I don't want any other handle any other way, because there's so many different positions. Even choking up on it way up here, see this finger here has a place to lock in on that handle, so that handle and that knife is very secure. Okay, so it's not going to be slipping around on me. Move it down so you can see. So I can choke up way up on the blade here, get right up next to where I'm cutting, have complete control of the knife, and it's very secure way up here. So that is the purpose behind the blade, the handle design on 90% of my knives. Now if you want the other style of handle, I can certainly do it, but this is why I do the handles that I do. Now on some of the larger blades, like this one here, there's a couple of different positions, because you may want to chop on something and you get way out here on the back, so you have the blade weight to help you. You remember the video on tool weight. So it helps you, it assists you in chopping. You move it up here to do certain cuts, or you can move it on up here and you still have contours in that handle so that you can lock your hand on that handle. So just I want to stress that if the more I use a knife, the less I'm holding a knife this way. I'm holding it up closer to the edge on the blade. I very seldom do you see me holding a knife like this. If I want to do some power cuts, then yeah, I will hold it up like that, but my hand is always as close to that blade as possible. See there, and I'm still, that finger has no place to lock in. Okay, it's just it's not like, say, on this where that finger locks in on that little divot right there. Okay, so I hope this explains the handle, and really every part of the design of this Master Woodsman has a purpose. Okay, and it was designed for a specific reason. Maybe I should go through the anatomy of a Master Woodsman at some point and explain it from pommel to tip, and I may do that when I get one of the actual prototypes back. This is the original concept knife that I did when I first started this idea started forming in my head. So it's not exact as to what the Master Woodsman is. The Master Woodsman doesn't have as much of a belly. It has a few little differences on this one, but the handle shape is the same, and that's what I want to talk about in this video, is handle shapes. Okay, so I hope this explained why, and I don't think we ask why enough. Why do you do this? Why do you do that? A lot of times we assume, and we get the wrong assumption. But anyway, that's off on a tangent. But this is why I make the handles the way I do, is because of the way I use a knife, and I think that the way I use a knife, everybody should use a knife. Maybe not. But anyway, and that's the reason, is because I want my hand to be as close to where I'm cutting as possible, because that is where your power's at, that is where your control's at, that is the most safest place, really, to be honest. And even when you're out here on the end doing thumb cuts or push cuts, then you have the one that's guiding the blade as close to where you're cutting as possible. So anyway, hope that explains everything. And I think once everybody gets used to it, now the blade thickness in here can vary. If you want liners with your Master Woodsman or any knife, the scales that I get are 3/8 scales, so that's as max as I can get. So if you want this area a little bit thicker than normal, because you want more meat there and still have the contours, then you need to add liners. And liners is only like having to go up on them. They're about 15 bucks now. So I mean, hardly nothing when you're talking about a custom knife. And another thing, when you order a custom knife, get it custom, okay? Don't order a knife like some other mass manufactured knife. I mean, that doesn't, I mean, you can get that knife instead of ordering a custom knife. Get it the way you want it, the blade shape, blade thickness, type of steel, handle, liners, get the whole works. Don't try to cheapen it, okay? Just my little bit of advice there. If you're gonna go with custom, then make it a custom. So anyway, but if you want a little bit more thickness here, then we can add liners for about $15 for the thick liners. The real thin liners we can still go with 10, but the thick liners is what's going up in price a little bit. Anyway, I hope that clears things up. Starting to cool off. You guys get in the backyard, go whittle on a stick. Try different grips on that blade. See how your handles work. See if they fit. See if you're secure. If you feel confident stabbing with that knife, and knowing that your hand is secure on that handle. Grab it up here. Get close to where you're shaving, where you're doing those feather sticks. See how much more control and power you've got when you're doing that. And see if that handle fits you. Okay? So, if you do get in the backyard, take a chow with you, get in the woods, go camping, and be sure and take plenty of band-aids and lots of knives. We'll catch you again soon.